Cubs take the series from the Twins. They keep chipping away. Here we go.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into discussion with you on all things Cubs. Thank you for being part of the show and making us your first listen today. And the best way you can help us grow the show is to listen every day. Like the video and comment anything below. Today's episode is presented by our great partners at Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply with Game Time. Cubs take 2 of 3 from the Twins and win their second series in a row with a win on Wednesday. Cubs improved to 57-60 overall and are winners of 5 of their last 7 and are 18-12 since the 4th of July. Michael Busch and Ian Happ homered, while the bullpen put up zeros in relief of Javier Assad. As the Cubs continue to chip away at the damage that they already put in, Sam, it was nice to see them really cruise to a win on Wednesday.
Well, it was nice to see them catch a couple of breaks.
They did that.
Wednesday afternoon, the lineup came out. I was in line getting my classic Wednesday afternoon sandwich and a salad before the game. I shot you a text. We knew no Buxton, most likely. We knew no Correa. Then you get no Royce Lewis. Then the game gets played, and it was early. Who knows what would have happened? But Joe Ryan is their top guy, also my top fantasy guy. So it was tough, a little bit tough to see him go out. Hope it's nothing serious. But whenever you see a pitcher throw a pitch and then call for the trainer, it's usually a pretty long stint on the injured list. And that, I mean, you know, there's really no more black or white way to analyze a baseball game. He left the game and the floodgates opened for the Cubs. Trevor Richards came on. You know, I don't know what he was doing in the bullpen before he was called in. Maybe he was on his iPad catching up, on The Office or something, which I've been watching regularly, by the way, now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's been really good.
Maybe a crossword puzzle.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing, but he clearly came in. And did you notice? Usually when those guys come in, it's like a long-winded warm-up. I went to the washroom, got a water, and PC had a base hit.
Yeah, he only threw like 10, 12 warm-ups.
So I don't know. And he was really kind of disjointed out there, and the Cubs took advantage. It was nice to see them take advantage of it. Michael Busch had a strong game, and it was a really nice series win. It was a really nice series win. And look, everybody wants to talk about it. I like to refrain until they get back over 500. But for this team to make any sort of thing interesting, you can't lose a home series to the Twins, even though they're a good team. There's just not enough math left. You have a tough series in Cleveland. Like there's basically 3 series all year they could lose and still find a way to get to 86, 87 wins.
Dodgers, Phillies, Yankees.
Right. Or I had Yankees Cleveland as a coin flip.
No, Cleveland's reeling right now. They got to win 2 out of 3 next week.
Yeah. Okay. So and then you also have to mix in a sweep of the Sox and a sweep of somebody else. That's just to get to 86, 87 wins.
You sweep of the Rockies.
You're not sweeping the Rockies in Coors, brother.
Maybe you sweep of the Nationals then.
The A's at home.
A's at home, okay.
Yeah.
They play the Nationals home and home, too.
Yeah, and that's a 4-gamer at Wrigley.
So, win all 4.
Yeah, no, and that's the other thing. If you really want to get rolling, you don't have to worry about series. You just win like 8, 9, 10 in a row. That does it, too.
Right.
The problem is teams like Arizona, San Diego, they're white hot.
Yeah. No, they're playing the best, among the best teams in baseball. They're chasing down the Dodgers, Sam.
Right.
Did you think that was going to happen?
No, the Dodgers have been a real disappointment. I'm not upset about it.
That's a big story in baseball.
Yeah. And I'm not upset about it, by the way.
The Twins gave this game to the Cubs. If I'm a Twins fan, I'm really frustrated tonight.
Luckily, you're not.
And again, possibly before the game even started with the lineup Baldelli put out there.
Weird.
Not sure why they did that with an off day tomorrow, but that's what happened. Again, 5 walks in that big run scoring inning there in the third. 1 hit, 5 walks, and a sacrifice fly. Richards with one of the worst performances I've seen by a pitcher all year. He threw 2 wild pitches also for good measure.
Yeah.
Javier Assad in this one, Sam, only 4 innings.
Yeah.
2 runs, 3 hits, walked 2. He hit a batter. He struck out 1. 75 pitches and 48 strikes. And here's the kicker on Assad after this one. He has now gone more than 5 innings in just 7 of his 21 starts this year. And he is averaging 87 pitches per start despite not going deep into games. And his strike percentage is only 56%. So while I'm not ready to necessarily label him anything, which would be the failed starter label, he's keeping up this high wire act. And I teased that Fangraph story. Basically, Fangraph determined that his pitch mix is the likeliest source of his success, despite all the analytics saying he should be worse.
Yeah.
Because he throws 6 pitches in most of his starts.
Yep.
But long term, it's really looking like maybe he can be a source of something else for the Cubs, whether it's in the pen or acquiring another player. Shoot, I had moments even today where I was wondering if he should even start again. And if he does, I think just like today, facing the 18 guys the 2 times through is best. But man, he plays with fire so much. The Cubs have won some of these in spite of that, but they also haven't. His record in the 21 games, doesn't approach like Imanaga or Steele levels or anything like that. But at least not the last month or two.
Well, the Cubs never win when Steele pitches.
Yeah, he had a bad run. That's right. But I'm wondering about his future. But it really was a fun performance by the whole team.
Yeah, with Assad, it's really simple. He doesn't have great overwhelming swing and miss stuff, so he has to rely on location. If his location's bad, he's unpitchable. Give him credit that he finds a way to survive each and every time out and keep the team in the game. I give him credit for that.
Sure.
But, you can't – he's thrown 6 innings 1 time since May 15th as a starter.
Yeah.
You can't do that. My guess is I think Jordan Wicks has a rehab start coming up.
Yeah, Saturday.
My guess is if Wicks does join, Ben Brown joins, whoever joins, Assad's going to be the guy out. Because Assad too today. I mean, his velocity. I mean, he was sitting 89, 90. I mean, that's with his pitch mix and his lack of command. It was, and his next start, I believe, will it be in Cleveland or will it be against the Marlins?
I think it'll be Guardians.
Oof.
Well, let me think about that.
No, it might not be because there's only 2 games against the Sox. So
yeah.
No, I guess it would be the 3rd game.
It'd be the 3rd game in Cleveland.
Ooh, I don't want to look at that. So, but really nice win. We'll talk about the bullpen. I think that was a pretty big story from the game.
It was,
We'll talk about that coming up. A big swing of the bat for Ian Happ. He has really quietly had a miserable start to his second half. I think his batting average was approaching like 220.
Overall,
overall.
Since the All-Star break, he's faltered a bit.
No, it's not a bit. I don't like when you do that. He's not faltered a bit. It's been quite a rough stretch for him since the break. Coming into today in August, he was 1 for 18. And since the break, I'm counting, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. He had 9 hits since the All-Star break. So it was really nice to see him hit a homer because, we know him. He could get hot really quickly, cold really quickly. And then Bush with a really nice bounce back.
Oh, my gosh. He was great.
So hopefully they could just score a bunch of runs against the White Sox.
Yeah, and of course, we'll preview that more next episode. But don't even mess around with them.
Right.
I get Crochet's pitching, but he only goes about 60 to 75 pitches now. I think the Sox might stretch him out just to try and beat us. Yeah, I think so too.
I don't like those. I don't trust those guys.
Well, I'm not taking him lightly at all, but I just hope they can get to him a little bit and then beat up on the pen.
Yeah, as long as they just work counts, they'll be in good
Because then they
shape.
got Steele flexing Saturday night. Woof.
Yeah, and Flexen came into Wrigley and threw 5 dandy innings in June, so we'll just have to see. But, I'm excited to talk about the bullpen because I thought that was a big story.
I just got a couple
Wednesday.
other notes. So,
Okay.
I was wondering.
You notice how I'm talking fully normal, full range of motion.
Nice.
It's nice to be back, folks.
A week later, yeah. Well, no, I'm saying it makes a difference.
No, I understand. It's been too long.
It takes time. No, it takes time.
I get it. It took me a little longer.
No, it's not what I'm saying.
I may look into that. You know what I mean? Because I have some problems with that stuff.
So I would like to take on Fox on Saturday night and do a watch along, but I don't know what your plans are. I wanted to tell you.
I don't want to do a Saturday night watch along of this team.
Okay.
I'd like
All
to.
right, well, then I'll make plans for Saturday.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would be open to watching the game with you. But I don't want to do it. No, yeah, we can't. That's not fair to Cura and my imaginary group of friends because they're not there yet. If they want to earn a Saturday night watch along, go beat the Sox twice, go sweep Cleveland. We'll see you Saturday in Miami then.
Okay, fine.
They haven't earned that right.
Cody Bellinger did
Last
not play
time I
this
did a
game.
watch along with Wisniewski.
Wisniewski
threw the ball into center field.
9 runs.
11-1. No, we're not doing that right now.
Last note here, Cody Bellinger did not play in this game. However, the Cubs are viewing it more as a precaution. Bellinger hit that first base bag awkwardly on Tuesday and arrived at the park on Wednesday with a sore hamstring. So please in the lineup on Friday night. All right, coming up next, we are going to talk about the bullpen, in particular a trio that has been throwing really, really well. Stay tuned. Today's episode is presented by Game Time, an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to the first pitch, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. The experience of searching for and then buying tickets on Game Time is simple. Plus, Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. See the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed with our great partners at Game Time. Cubs play the White Sox at 7:10 p.m. Central Friday, and you can hear every pitch of the Cubs hometown broadcast on SiriusXM by searching Cubs on the SXM app. Wanted to check in on the bullpen circle of trust right now for manager Craig Counsell and the Cubs as Drew Smyly, Tyson Miller, and Jorge Lopez continue to impress out of the pen. That trio has all been really good the last 2 months, but really their overall seasons have been pretty solid in a Cubs uniform, with Miller and Lopez coming over from other teams. And I think they're all in the circle of trust right now, Sam, or should be. Hector Neris is the ninth inning guy, whether we like it or not. And then I got Porter Hodge as a tweener right now. We can go over kind of what that means. And then Counsell told you today that Julian Merriweather is in a trio of low leverage dudes right now with Nate Pearson and Ethan Roberts. What are your thoughts on the pen right now as they have really surged?
Couple of thoughts. First of all, on a day I thought that was one of the more complete days of the year for the pen, Alzolay announced, Tommy John for him. That I just think it's important to touch on that. I have a theory, conspiracy Sam is here.
Okay.
And I think something was bothering him this year because his stuff, even if it's really, really slight, when you're pitching and you're subconsciously compensating for something with your arm, that could cause your pitches. Because remember how just flat everything was? Yeah. And I know this sounds really weird, but I'm actually relieved for Adbert that this is happening. And I know it's going to be a long road back for him, but I think he will come back sharper than the guy that we saw in 2023. Just want to make that point. As far as the bullpen goes, So here's how I would rate the circle of trust, but I
Yeah.
think it's different than Craig's. My circle of trust is simple. Miller, Lopez, Smyly. Then on the outside looking in, Hector, Hodge. For Craig, I believe it's Hodge 8, Neris 9. That's it. And then everybody else is there. I just love Miller and Lopez because they don't walk people.
Right.
And when you don't walk people, you give yourself a chance. What's this bullpen missing right now? A regular left-handed pitcher. And with that, I'd like to break some news. The Chicago Cubs have signed left-hander Lucas Lutage to a minor league deal, according to
haven't they had him already?
Lutage spent the season in the Red Sox organization at this point, but opted out of that arrangement last week. He's 37 years old. I expect him to get a call up, and one of the righties gets sent down, so the Cubs have a true lefty in their bullpen. You will see him, I would think, relatively soon.
What?
Yeah, the Cubs need another lefty, man.
It's Lucas Luggage is his name?
No, I don't know how to pronounce it.
He should be in the airline industry.
Luetge, man.
A 37-year-old lefty who played for the Red Sox this year, Yankees last year.
I just said that, dude.
Braves last year, it looks like.
Well, I just said he's a Red Sox.
Well, yeah, he's got a mixed record, 7 major league seasons. I think he'll.
I just think they need a true lefty in the pen. Smyly's not great against lefties. So I think they need a true lefty. So I think you might see one of the righties go down.
Okay. Well, yeah, he was throwing well at AAA. So I do wonder if he'll come up soon.
He will.
47 strikeouts in 41 innings.
Oh, yeah.
3.02 ERA for AAA Pawtucket. I watch my language there.
Can we give Jed a little bit of credit just with these in-season pickups?
This is going to be another contributor that didn't begin the year on March 28 with the Cubs.
Tyson Miller and Jorge Lopez, I believe, have been two huge stabilizers to the bullpen. That was Jed's mess to begin with, but he couldn't predict that Merriweather was going to have kind of a weird injury. Adbert was going to have his situation, that Hector Neris wasn't going to be effective. And then let's give a little bit of shout out. I know it's early. But Christian Bethancourt has had a real nice cameo in a Cub uniform. He's been just steady, had a little bit of issues with some framing, but he's got a really good arm. That error today was Paredes' fault, not his. And he's hit the ball really well. And, these are mid-season moves, It's been a rough year for Jed Hoyer. I just want to give him his flowers on that. I mean, Tyson Miller and Jorge Lopez are a joy to watch.
Yeah, no, they've contributed real well. Lopez has an ERA. It starts with a 0 in a Cubs uniform. I'm still keeping tabs on a guy like Pearson, Sam, but I don't want him anywhere near a big spot.
Yeah, not yet.
And yeah, so let's see what happens there. I did want to go over so Ty Lewin's going to be with us for the last episode of the week coming up, and I did want to go over some pitching prospects with him because I just feel like genuinely, with so many graduations of like Wicks, Brown, Horton's been out. Yeah. I don't know a lot about the pitching prospects right now.
Well, I don't think there's a lot to know about.
I don't think there's much, right? It's mostly offense. So, that lefty signing today by Jed is interesting, and we'll see what happens there.
I would say
the other thing with that trio, Sam, they can all go 2 innings. Smyly, Miller, Lopez.
Yeah.
If that matters.
It does. I think if there's a 2 or 3 run lead, I feel really safe with those guys. They don't have a ton of swinging. They don't have a ton of swing and miss stuff. If you need a strikeout, you go to Hodge, but I really like those guys. I would say, just previewing the episode with Ty tomorrow, and to no fault of his own. Yeah. But the biggest disappointment this year at the minor league level has just been this Cade Horton injury. I mean, we've really been robbed.
Oh, that's right.
Of seeing him, progress.
Yeah, no, I think it's a major story.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
All right, well, we're going to close out with one of those guys that Jed Hoyer has picked up midseason, Christian Bethancourt, the Cubs' current backup catcher. I think he should stick around the rest of the way as Miguel Amaya's backup and maybe even get a few more plate appearances here coming up against a couple AL squads. We'll explain why next. Today's episode is presented by Supply House. Get supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades, supplyhouse.com, the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Well, you can get expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the biz and talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trade Master program, which includes access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at SupplyHouse.com to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks of a button. Check out Supply House today over at SupplyHouse.com. Christian Bethancourt is 6 for 14 with 2 walks, 3 doubles, and a home run in his first 5 games with the Cubs. Bethancourt has been back behind the plate the last few years after the Padres actually tried converting him from catcher to relief pitcher way back in 2016. He hit 11 home runs each of the last 2 years, Sam, with the Rays, and then was released in late June by the Marlins after playing the first couple of months of this campaign with them. It's been nice to see him come in, contribute right away. I think he should remain on the roster the rest of the year. I think Nito is not expected to return until mid-September anyways. But with only a couple weeks worth of games to go at that point, I think you stick with the hot hand in Bethancourt.
What we've learned over the last month or so with a guy like Bethancourt coming in this last week and then Amaya picking it up a little bit is just how nice. Oh, and PCA picking it up. Yeah. How nice it is to have a bottom of the order that isn't an automatic out. And if this team is going to compete next year for a division championship, for a potential playoff berth and beyond, and not get Juan Soto and not trade for a major bat, they have to get that catcher position right. Because you can make the case going from, let's say the Cubs trade, this is just totally hypothetical. Let's say they were to trade Nico Warner and get a really good bat, right? Like a Santander or something, just hypothetically, right, and move Bush over to second, whatever, Bellinger to first. You can make a case the same upgrade would be if they went out and just got like a solid catcher, like not even a great one, because the catching position has been such a problem this year for the most part. And a guy like Bethancourt coming in and just giving, even though it's only been 14 at bats, it's just so shocking. Like when he hit that 3-run homer against the Cardinals Friday, it literally feels like the pitcher just hit a homer. That's how bad. That's how bad the offense has been from that spot. And Amaya, yes, he's picked it up lately, but it still just doesn't. Sometimes when you're a fan, you could tell everything you want about a player by how you feel when they're there, when the ball's in their hands or when they're up. That's like when Amaya comes up, I'm still just kind of like, I'm still shocked. Like now I'm at the point with PCA, when he comes up, I'm expecting the ball to be hit hard. And I'm excited. I'm excited. He had 2 balls these last 2 nights of prior homers on a regular day in the left field. So with this catching position, the point I'm trying to make is Bethancourt's just giving you a little bit of a reminder of how valuable next year that could be if they can go get a guy that just hit like Gomes did last year. It doesn't have to be all world stuff, but just solid, and then play your position. Because if you also notice with Bethancourt, nobody runs on him.
Well, yeah, he's got a great arm.
Yeah.
I know the catcher. I would like to explore for an episode, this winter, this fall, about acquiring a young catcher. It's pretty rare. It would take a lot of capital. It would take Nico Horner at least. But I think at least a better tandem would instill more confidence. And I like what you said, the Gomes comp to last year. Because that's not even a high bar. So
maybe we could talk about that for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, our Turkey Day episode. And quick note there, Santander, Sam, remember last week I was starting to do my research on my notepad here. Remember, he's a free agent.
No, that's why I mentioned it.
Yeah. So, and I did some work with the notepad 1 week ago today.
I was saying trade Nico, get a catcher, then sign Santander free agent.
Got it. So I did work on this notepad 1 week ago, and right now I'm 7 for 7.
Yeah, no,
I sketched out the whole rest of the year. I just need them to sweep the Sox, and I can kind of reveal what that is.
Yeah,
But
do it, dude.
it's just exciting, man.
Yeah,
5-2 through 7.
So did you get a chance to see Hard Knocks?
No, I'm going to try to watch that tonight with Kira.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. I thought my dad described it well. Would have liked a little bit more football material.
Yeah, I think for the casual fan,
Yeah.
I heard it's good. It's good.
Yeah, well, I love the beginning part. You know, you know me, I love my history. So I love when they show the statue of the late great Walter Payton, you know, one of the all-time greatest pound for pound football players of all time, and the George Halas stuff, little Gale Sayers clip. You know me, I love my sports history. Yeah, they didn't do much with him. Well, I guess they did. You know, they showed the Hall of Fame game because that's why, you know, the Bears had Hester, McMichael, and Julius Peppers. You know what I mean?
It's great.
So that was really cool.
Locked on Bears for all your Bears needs.
Well, I just like to throw that in, you know.
No, we like Bears content here as well. We're going to throw a little bit of it our own.
We're going to preview the Cubs Sox. You know, I will say this.
Ty Lewin, the Billy Preston of Locked On Cubs, will be with us.
I will say this.
Go ahead.
I'll say this.
It's only a 30-minute show. So.
If the Sox still had that losing streak, I was contemplating going Friday night.
Really?
Yeah.
To see the all-time record?
Yes. I mean, come on. That'd be kind of cool to be like, you know, tell your grandkids, hey, I saw a team lose the most games in a row. You know,
I can remember the last time I was at U.S. Cellular Field.
For me, I'll tell you exactly what it was. It was 2017. I went to go watch Starlin with the Yankees against the White Sox. And, of course, the day before he pulled a hamstring and he didn't play.
Oh, geez.
So it's 2017. It's been 7 years. I ate a lot that night.
Thank you so much for checking out this edition of Locked On Cubs. You give us 20 to 30 minutes. We'll give you all things Cubs with a laugh or two along the way.
I did.
Yeah, I heard they have good food there.
No, I had like tacos and a pizza. Just, you know, we really ate a lot. This is back when I went with my friend Anthony when he ate like a normal human being.
Be sure to hit.
That's an inside joke, folks.
Yeah,
I have a friend.
Very inside.
All he eats is he's on a carnivore diet, all steaks, you know.
Be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube for this great content. Smash the like button for the algorithm and leave a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcast. All right, another winning edition of the program. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.
Go Cubs.